never faileth. He is the doer of all things. Olumba never faileth. He is the doer of all things. Olumba never faileth. He is the doer of all things. Olumba never faileth. He is the doer of all things. Olumba never faileth. He is the doer of all things. Olumba never faileth.
There is this one television that is so entertaining. It is so inspiring and so educative. Starcross TV, inspiring station. Watch Starcross TV, enlightening station. Watch Starcross TV, empowering station. God's own station, uniting the world. There is this one television that is so entertaining. It is so inspiring and so educative. Starcross TV, inspiring station. Watch Starcross TV, enlightening station. Watch Starcross TV, empowering station.
Welcome to a very wonderful, beautiful morning here. We are reaching out to you from the BCS World Headquarters, 34 Ambu Street, Calabar, Nigeria. Yes. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Good morning to you. I believe you're doing great, and I believe you had the best of the weekend. Yes. So welcome to a new week. We believe that this week will be filled with great possibilities. This week will be one that all your set goals will be achieved. And of course, all your prayers will be answered. So whatever you have to do this week, just make sure that you have to believe before the Father, and He will take control of it. Good morning to you once again. I am Peace Smith, reaching out to you on Starcross Television. You know, every morning, we are always here to add spice to your day, to empower you, to get you set and ready for the day. So to do this, I have wonderful personalities right here on set with me. Today promises to be very, very interesting, very, very thrilling. So make sure you don't miss out, because all the knowledge, all the interactions we will be having here, trust me, you wouldn't want to sit back and watch. So joining us on this set or this episode this morning, I have none other than the beautiful sister. Guess who is that? The beautiful sister Stella Obina. She's looking all ravishing this morning. Good morning to you, Stella. Marriage life good with you, Shao.
Good morning to you, sister. Peace Smith.
How are you doing?
I'm perfect.
You did not answer me what I said.
Thank you, Father. Good morning to our esteemed viewer, to all our audience out there. Thank you so very much for always staying glued to Starcross Television. Thank you for always being there for us, because as usual we cannot be here talking to ourselves. It's not possible. If you're not there, we cannot be here. So thank you so very much for always staying glued to Starcross Television. As usual, we are always promising that our episode, every of our episodes of Morning Star, are always very, very enlightening, always very educative, always very inspiring. So do well to learn something new for yourself each passing day. And today shouldn't be an exception, because we're going to bring something very, very educative to your screen this morning. We have lots of segments to bring your screen. We have so many beautiful things. So you
don't let the cat out of the bag.
Grab a pen, grab a paper, so you can jot. That is if you can't assimilate everything while we talk, you know. So you can as well pass the knowledge to your next door neighbor, to your friends, and even to your enemies. You know, when they want to give you basketballs, you tell them you have learned something. That will just be light and thank you so very much for joining us. I remain Stella Obina.
Thank you so much. All right, so joining us on set this morning again, I have Brother David Eric. I like to call him the Prof. Good morning. You're looking very good this morning. I love the color.
Thank you so much. Good morning to you,
Good morning
Peace.
to you.
Good morning to you, Sister Stella. And good morning to you, our amazing and wonderful audience. You are the reason why we are seated here. As you've heard it from my colleague, yes, you're welcome to the Best Religious TV station, and we promise you that today's Morning Star Breakfast show is going to be wonderful and exceptional. Thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you. So how was your weekend, starting with Stella? How was it during the weekend? What did you have to do to conclude with?
Okay, how was my weekend? I can't even wrap my hand around some major things. I know I had some pressing things to attend to. I had to visit the hospital, had to, do some house chores. I didn't have any kind of extracurricular activities, The weekend was just there.
Okay, so just domestic work, stress, and all of that.
Yeah,
okay.
and in all, we thank the Father for all He has done for us all through the weekend, all the achievements, everything He has done for us in our favor. We thank Him so immensely.
So how have you set yourself ready for this new week? Yeah.
Okay. As at yesterday, I was able to, visualize how my week is going to be. Though I wasn't able to dot all my I's and cross all my T's, I wouldn't lie. But at least in a scale of 10%, I was able to do 6. Because I had already visualized, okay, today, Monday, I know what I'm supposed to achieve today. And I'm praying not to procrastinate. I'm praying not to procrastinate. I'll be like, God, after Morning Star, okay, I have to achieve this. And I definitely have to achieve that. After that, I have to do this. Even if I cannot do all the things, I should do a reasonable amount of what I have to achieve today. Likewise tomorrow and then the rest of the days in the week.
Yeah, I know a lot of persons out there. I know some of them that are also praying not to procrastinate this week. So we believe that the Father is giving you the strength to do so. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. So back to you, Brother David. How was your weekend and how are you getting yourself ready for the week? I mean, all the possibilities this week we'll be presenting with.
All right, speaking about my weekend, it was good, beautiful, amazing. I had some spiritual exercises I had to participate in. Yes,
okay.
And I think it was really, really soul lifting. And away from that, looking at the week, by the Father's grace, we have seen another sunset, and we are hoping that we are going to use the positive energy that comes with the sun to try and see what we can be able to do. But at the end of the day, we believe our Father is going to take charge and control.
Sure. Amazingly, no one knows what each day or each week will carry. Yeah. I was thinking that we'll say, okay, for this week, this is what I'll do, and I'm sure to achieve it. So that's how life is, funny enough. Yeah. You don't know what this week is carrying. You don't know what today. Someone would say every second counts. Yeah. So in whatever you're doing, just make sure you give Father the glory and just commit everything to Him. You don't know what today will carry. You don't know what tomorrow, Tuesday or Wednesday, but you just know that you have to keep pushing. So no matter what it is, how it is, whether you're feeling you have to relent, you're feeling, oh, maybe I have to stop here, maybe I have to push it to another day. No, just commit everything to the Father and He will take the lead and you have to follow and everything will be made possible in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Yes, it is still the Morning Star Breakfast Show here on Starcross Television. So make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend, a brother to tell a brother that the Morning Star Breakfast Show has commenced. So this is a live broadcast. You can join us via our Facebook page or our YouTube page at BCS Starcross TV International. So because this morning, whatever we will be discussing, the topic we'll be discussing this morning embodies you as a person, even the next person seated very close to you, even to your society, and even to, should I say, your country as a whole. So make sure you stay glued. We'll be right back after this short break.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help from the Lord. Anything I do, anything I say, I wonder what manner of Lord way beyond human comprehensions. You are my strength when I'm weak. You are my Lord, my fortress and shield. Oh Lord, my master and king. Oh Lord, I give you all praise, my Lord and King. Ebube dike, obiomale, agune chimba, onye nememma, songi kam no po, oge no no bazam, oh zam, oh zamonda, zamo papa, zamo daddy, zamo onywe, makala ibuchi. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help, from the Lord. Anything I do, anything I say, even when I smile, even when I cry, Lord, I need you.
Welcome back. In case you're just tuning in, it's still the Morning Star Breakfast Show here on Star Cross Television. Yes, I mean the Monday's edition of the Morning Star Breakfast Show. And of course, before we go into our topic for today, I would also like to remind you that following the celebration of the Silver Jubilee, yes, Silver Jubilee celebration, Star Cross Television has deemed it fit to open up its time for you to send in your felicitation. So ensure that if you're doing the video, you can send it via in a landscape mode, or better still, you can reach out to our external manager, Sister AB Rex, to get a scroll bar or a jingle, a voiced-over jingle for yourself. So make sure you join in the celebration, because like someone would say, silver or gold you have none, but all you have to do is to show a heart of gratitude and appreciation to our Father. So it's just a token, and you can actually be a part of these great blessings. Also, talking about the weekend, we understand that the sensitization tour for the Silver Jubilee moved to Ghana, also moved to Delta State and Edo. So far, I don't know. Let me bring in Brother David Eric. Welcome back. Sister Stella, welcome back. So what can you say about the movement so far? I know you should have a little, report from your own end or something.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, last week it was a very beautiful and amazing event that took place. First, it happened at Edo State, where the Heavenly Monarch had to visit Edo State, and it was beautiful. Brethren, they had to receive our Most Holy Father, and away from that, still in that same weekend, the Father had to move down to Delta State, and it was a dual movement. The Father moved down to Delta State, had to bless Delta State, and they were also ready. And we believe immensely that all the states in Nigeria are preparing and gearing towards the silver celebration. And we also saw Ghana. They also received our Holy Father at Ghana, and it was beautiful. So I would say kudos to all the states and the nation that had to receive our Father this weekend. So top gear for this other week for those preparing to
that's
receive our
Father.
Yes, definitely.
So Stella, what can you say about it? Do you think that the states, following this trip so far, you must have gotten a few reports or something. So do you think states are, or you can boldly say that states are ready, to give out their 100% in terms of turning out for the event. In choral, that's where we are most particular about choral and otherwise.
Okay, of course.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. Of course, this program or this event is, it's the 25th Jubilee celebration. So, Silver Jubilee celebration. So, there's not going to, there will be no other 25th Silver Jubilee celebration. And next year is 26th. So, there is no how we are going to celebrate 25th again as a year. So there is no how any state we don't want to turn out in a very good number. There's no how they will not want to turn out Emmas. There's no how they will not want to put in their very best. Not that they are going to compete to say, okay, we are going to come with.
But we need that. Let's see which state comes out, nations comes out the most.
They say the kingdom of wanting married violence,
And only with first.
Violence was taken it by force. Yes, they are all going to come out in their numbers. They're all going to come out beautifully adorned, the carnival procession, everything. They're just going to be represented, But I know for sure, just like I mentioned, that we are not competing, There is no kind of...
This is an escape route, Stella.
There's not going to be any competition of any kind to say, okay, we must beat this state, we must beat that state. That is not the mentality at this point in time. Even if you're coming for choral exercise, for the singing exercise, we don't call it competition. We call it singing exercise. We are here to glorify God through songs. So that spirit of, or that mentality of, we are going to compete, we must take first, we must do this. To me, I don't see it to be a normal thing, because we are just here to glorify God. The panelists are just there to do their job, perform their responsibilities, But our actions is just to give God his praise, just to give him all his accolades, all the adoration, pour our gratitude to him through songs. So every state, I believe, they are all doing very well. They are all gearing up towards that particular celebration, because there's not going to be a second 25th again. If there's going to be another celebration, maybe it could be the Golden Jubilee. So this one, there's not going to be a second Silver Jubilee. This is once and for all. So every state is gearing up. So
once in a lifetime event. Thank you so much, Stella. But that's not an excuse route for anyone out there. So I want all these states. Let's see which states or nations will actually stand out the most. Okay. So in all, we are giving our Father the glory. Like I said, silver or gold you have none. Yeah. So if you have these little opportunities to show gratitude, either by appearance or by whatever you can do as an individual or a state, see how well you can do, or in nations, better still, see how you can do it, so that at the end, you don't know what blessings you'll be taking back home. It's blessings that you can never, ever, joke with. All right, so this morning, we have a very interesting topic for you. Like I said, this is a topic you would want to engage in. We are talking about leadership and governance. I'll take that again. The topic for this morning is leadership and governance. When we are talking about leadership, what readily comes to your mind? When we are talking about governance, what readily comes to your mind? Is it just what you see in the world? Or is it what you see in the church? Or is it what you see in your environment or in your family? So this morning, we will be talking about it. So we are not just talking about it here as Eric or Peace or Stella. So we have a resource person or two resource persons who will be doing justice to the topic. So make sure as a person, you're also key into this conversation. Our phone line is open. We are live on our YouTube page. We are live on our Facebook page. So do well to engage. Let's understand your own point of view, what you understand by leadership and governance. So to start with, I don't know, I'm just like you on this side, so I believe Eric and Stella should have more to talk about. Let's start with understanding what is leadership. When we talk about leadership, what do we mean by leadership and what do we mean by governance? Let me start with you, Brother David.
All right, thank you very much and welcome back. Good to have you back, Stella. Now to you, our audience, this is a very interesting and informative topic. You need to understand that governance and leadership goes beyond what we might imagine. But for general understanding, looking at leadership, it is the ability, firstly, to influence, to inspire, and to guide individuals. It could be individuals, as the case may be, or a group of people towards achieving a common goal. So I think if there is no common goal, there is no leadership. If you cannot influence or inspire persons there is no leadership at that particular point in time. I know why I'm highlighting this particular word. There are so many persons who follow you because of the way you influence them. There are so many persons who follow you because they know that you want to achieve a great cause, which is going to be beneficiary to them and to everybody involved at this particular point in time. You must inspire so many persons for you to become a good leader.
Okay.
No matter the level, at any point in time you find yourself, we are all leaders at every point. So if we have this mindset to understand that we inspire a lot of persons, we are going to make so many persons achieve so many things, either individually or collectively. Take, for instance, we are working here now as TV presenters. We are leaders to so many persons who want to be TV presenters tomorrow. We inspire a lot of persons who want to achieve this goal of becoming a TV presenter. So I think at various levels, we are all leaders. So we have to have this at the back of our mind that if we do not inspire so many persons positively, we'll be inspiring them negatively, which will in turn affect us as a person. Then for governance, it refers to a system or a structure or a process put in place to make sure that there is accountability, transparency, there is fairness, responsibility, equity in making sure that everywhere is organized in the society. So I think basically the boots have to
They have to work interface.
Yes, they have to work together to make sure that leadership, I think leadership enhances governance, the structure already kept. Leadership, if there's good leadership, then the governance is going to be beautiful because it's a system that's already been kept.
Wow, that's beautiful. Sister Stella, do you agree with that, or do you have a different perspective to the definition?
Okay, not totally different.
Okay.
Yeah, governance, just like he mentioned, is like a laid down system of rules, practices, and processes by which an organization is or a society is directed and controlled to ensure accountability. Now, for leadership or a leader is someone who inspires, someone who motivates, someone who listens. Yes, as a good leader, you should cultivate that attitude of listening.
Wow.
You don't just lead by people following you wherever you go, doing whatever you do, and then not listening to your followers, not also asking, how should we do this? Yeah. Like asking for their own opinion.
Okay. Like
that is one of the qualities of a good leader. You don't just make people follow you sheepishly without also turning back to know, okay, if these persons that are following me, do they also have a different viewpoint from where we are going? Do they have a different route from where we are? Okay, let's say we are meeting and we are going to point C.
Okay.
Now, I am a leader and I have followers, people following me to reach that point C. I said, okay, rather than taking direct from point A to point C, why not we divert from point A to point B before getting to point C? I don't even understand
very
my
well.
point.
I'm following
As
you.
a good leader, I should also hear or listen to my audience. To
Your
my
followers.
Do you think we should take from point A to point B before getting to point C, or we should just take from point A to point C? I should be able to also hear from them.
Okay.
To also see their viewpoint, to also view their perspective, not just whatever I say they should do, whatever I say should stand. That's one of the qualities of a good leader.
Okay, but before we go deeply into the qualities, you have said something that as a good leader, you should be able to move, if you are moving from point A to B or C, you should be able to seek maybe the attention of your followers to know if actually the decision is right. And now we understand that when it comes to governance, sometimes emotions doesn't matter. Please correct me if I'm wrong on the set.
You're right.
Sometimes emotions doesn't matter because, for example, now if you're always waiting to hear what your other persons will hear, sometimes the decisions they make might not actually, sometimes as a good leader, you have to be able to see the future even before deciding. Yeah. So what if the opinion of people following you may not actually or necessarily bring the result you're seeing? Does that actually make you a wrong leader in that point, or a bad leader?
Let me get your question again.
If the decision, maybe the whatever goal or whatever target you want to meet, if you don't seek the opinion of your followers, that's because maybe you have envisaged the future, and you have seen that, okay, this is how the clearer picture will be at the end. So now you're trying to take opinion from people or from your followers, and maybe they're not seeing what you're seeing at that point. And now you're not taking their opinion. Does it actually make you a bad leader as a person? Because we sometimes see this happening in society today, and we
that's
say,
true.
oh, he's a bad person and all of that. But he has a different
Okay,
picture.
now if the reverse should be the case, that what you're envisaging, what you think is going to be a positive outcome, now turns out to be a negative outcome, would you now blame yourself for not seeking a second opinion?
That's where accountability comes in.
Thank you. So in a sense, or in a situation like that, there's nothing wrong. Okay, as a good leader, yes, you should have that foresight to say, okay, if let's say we are to purchase a land today, or maybe we are just to go into a business, maybe I'm leading a group of people, you get, and then we are to, you know, put in all our incomes into to yield more income or more resources or funds for us. Okay, what sort of business should we go into? Should we go into laundry? Should we go into let's say open a computer center? Should we go into this? Already you know that, let's say, laundry services will be lucrative in that particular location, you know, as a leader. But there is nothing wrong for you to also seek a second opinion and get reasons.
Okay.
Get reasons why you think maybe going for a different business other than that the one you have in mind is necessary. And if maybe you think that their own opinion is actually okay, it's better, it's good, but there should be a but from your end, you should also give them your own reasons why you think this other business will thrive better. There is nothing wrong. You have envisaged that, okay, there's going to be a better outcome with your own vision. But there's nothing wrong for you to also fall back to say, okay, Mr. A, B, C, D, this is my vision, this is my plan. What do you think?
Okay.
Also seek their own opinion, because if it happens that you take the decision alone and then thinking that the future is bright, and then it gets to that point where the future is no longer bright, the future
You'll
is
be
very
held
dark.
accountable for it.
Thank you. That is where your fellows will say he should have asked. He didn't want to ask anybody. They'll now pour all the blame on you. But to you, you just wanted a bright future. You saw that the future was going to be bright. The outcome was going to be positive. But lo and behold, the outcome was negative. All the blame would be, nobody would want to understand that you had, maybe you had positive reasons why we should go into that particular kind of business, or why we should take this step, or why we should do this. All they want to know, or what they will say, is he didn't ask questions, he didn't seek our consent or our opinion, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. So whether or not you envisage a brighter future, you know that the outcome is going to be positive, it is still very necessary that at least you seek a second opinion. Okay. Just so you know how to navigate when maybe things get tough at the long run, things don't fall in place the way you envisaged or the way you had envisioned that it's going to fall in place. At least you should also have a backup plan. Okay. You should seek a second opinion.
All right, thank you so much. Let me bring in Eric to this, because I know, just like Stella, you've been involved in one setting or the other where you have executive and all of that. Now, in some situation, you see people saying, oh, that person, maybe like a leader, that person or that chairman that likes listening to. Do you understand? Maybe he has a set, I don't want to use the word caucus, but he has a set of group like that, okay, maybe when he wants to make a decision, he like takes opinion or wants to listen to such set of person. But you hear people say that chairman, that they're addressing like a feeble leader. Let's put it that way. So in the situations like that, you know, relating it to what Stella said, that you have to always seek opinion from people. What do you have to say?
All right. In as much as I have to also support Sister Stella, I have to say there should be reservations.
Oh, okay. That's a very dynamic one.
As a leader, you need to also have reservations, a very deep one. You should be open to listening everybody, but at some point in time, you should be critical to taking your steps. Let us remember our brother Moses. He was a leader, a very good leader. God had to use him instrumentally, but we saw at some point he had to falter. It is not easy to be a leader. It is not easy. Your vision has to be very, very clear and direct. You have to know that your vision has to see the future. And looking at the future, you have to try and see the risk that others cannot see. You have to try as possible.
I think that's where the issue of vision comes in.
Yes, I believe immensely that when God keeps you as a leader in a particular place, he gives you extra blessings, extra wisdom, things that are different from the followers. If you pray and seek for it, it will come. It helps you see the future. It helps you navigate through the future where your followers cannot see on time. And in presence of seeing the future, you have to try and see how you have to be accountable. Your integrity has to come in at this
Okay.
particular point in time. Most leaders do not have this at the back of mind to believe that they can be accountable in the future. Now, to put it to what Sister Stella have said, it is right for you to always seek concept.
Okay.
Whether you seek concept or you don't seek
Consent.
consent rather of persons, they will still tag you that maybe you're a leader who do not listen.
Yeah.
And when you listen, they will still tag you you're a leader that is weak. That is the simple
That
truth.
is true.
If you listen to persons, they will say, oh, you're too weak. If you don't listen, they will say, oh, you do not listen. That is why I say, as a leader, you have to have deep reservations. Even if you want to toe the line of listening to your subordinate, which is very important, it is key, because without your followers, who are you leading?
Sure.
Without the persons God has given to you, who are you leading? You are not a leader. And remember, our Father has taught us about servant leadership, not the leadership of autonomy where you have to bully people around. We understood that our Father, the leadership He has taught us is the best, that if we apply it in anywhere in the world, definitely to be captivating, we will not have issues at all. So if a leader understands the fact that he is there to serve, he's not there for his own personal interest, he's not there for his own selfish interest, at some point in time, you always see that the vision of your followers can also align with your own vision.
True.
And through the leadership and through the help of God, you can enhance these two things. Whether you listen to your followers keenly and do it the way they want to say it or not, you will still be guided. Firstly, you have to listen to them, because if you do not listen to them, either openly or otherwise, what I mean by openly or otherwise, you can have access to them openly and you can still not have access to them openly, whereby you have people where you have kept in town to always listen and get information, or they can also send information via other means, but you have to try and listen to them.
Okay.
If you don't listen to them, you cannot solve the problems, you cannot take them to where they're going to, you cannot serve them, because as a leader, you're there to serve them. And at some point in time, you have to have confidence to take risk. Yes, as a good leader, you have to have some confidence. That's why I say you have to have deep reservation.
Okay.
This confidence...
Sorry, I would really love to understand the part of that deep reservation. By deep reservation, what could you please just throw more light?
All right, this deep reservation I'm talking about is at the point whereby your followers are saying, you must do this, you must do this, you must do this. Being a good leader, you will be critical. Some point in time, you might have some skills that they do not really have.
Okay.
Now, at this point, imagine your followers are saying that they want you to invest in good computer system around a community whereby you know agriculture will sell faster. Your reservations are this: you're the one going to make the final decision. Remember, after listening,
Yeah.
you're the one who's going to make the final reservation. So this decision you're going to make is your reservation. Even after listening to them, you have to have the mind of taking the risk. At this particular point in time, imagine all your followers are saying that we want you to open a computer center, which you have made thorough research to understand and to know very well that once you invest into agriculture, it will be positive. At the initial, some of your followers might want to sabotage it.
Okay.
Yeah, I will definitely
Yes,
talk about that.
and not want to agree to those things. But based on the fact that you have gotten reservations to see those things ahead of time, to plan for it, to plan for this, to plan for that, you will scale through.
Yes, definitely you will scale through. We have a whole lot to talk about when it comes to leadership and governance. But before we continue, let's take a short break. We will be right back. Please stay tuned.
My words should guide your heart. Come rain or sunshine, I'll always stand by you. In the registry of life, we must go through pain for gain. Stars will guide
BCS Music.
When you're far away from home and your candlelight is low, stars will see you through, for you are not alone. You've lost the way to go, it's not the end of the road. Lights will guide you home, I'll always stand by you, and I will be your friend. When the road is rough and cold, you'll never walk alone in this evil world of sin. And I will lead the way and ignite your candle flames. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. So don't forget the road that leads you home. Don't forget there is a candle you hold. Stars will guide you home, they will guide you home. I'll always stand by you. Don't forget, the Lord is your stronghold. He should anchor when your candle is low. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. In this journey of life, my words should guide your heart. Come rain or sunshine, I'll always stand by you. In the registry of life, we must go through pain for gain. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you, and I will be your friend. When the road is rough and cold, you'll never walk alone in this evil world of sin. I will lead the way and ignite a candle flames. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. So don't forget, so don't forget, the road that leads you home. And don't forget, there is a candle you hold. The stars will guide you home. I'll always stand by you. So don't forget, the Lord is your stronghold. He's your anchor when your candle is low. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you.
When darkness falls and fears arise, oh, do not forget the Lord is your greatest might. He said, I will walk beside you through the tears and the battle. Also the stars will guide you home to a place of refuge. As you toil, legion surrounds you. As you sleep, my words protect you. As you wake, my light leads the way. You are not alone. Shine my name in the dark. You see my wonders and mighty your love. I will always be beside you, hand in hand, I'll never leave your pride. Stars will guide you home. Stars will guide you home. Stars will guide you home. So do not forget.
Don't forget,
Do not forget. You are not alone.
don't forget,
You are not alone. Stars will guide you.
I'll always stand by you.
Oh,
Don't forget, the Lord is your stronghold. He's your anchor when your stars to guide you home. I'll always stand by you.
Always stand by you.
It is believed that leadership is the act of getting someone else, or according to a quote though, that leadership is the act of getting someone else to do something you want them to do because you want it to be done. I'll take that quote again. Leadership is the act of getting someone else to do something you want it done. That's because you want it to be done. This is how it is written here. So that's the quote. Now, another quote from a famous philosopher says that the best leader is one who doesn't lead but enable others to lead. And now in Brotherhood of the Croissant Star, we have what we call servant leadership. Welcome back. It's still the Morning Star Breakfast Show here on Star Cross Television. Yes, like I said, you can join this conversation via our YouTube page and on our Facebook page at BCS Star Cross TV International. This morning we are looking at leadership and governance. What do you think about it? So far we have been able to digest or to look at what leadership actually means and what governance means. So now let's look at this quote that says leadership is the act of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it. Leadership is the act of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it. I feel at that point now is the subject now that you're feeling, you as a leader, you want that thing to be done by that subject because that subject wants that thing to be done. So this morning again, I'll bring back Sister Stella Obina. Welcome back, and Brother David Eric. Now, looking at that quote there, it sounds very funny. That's why I've been smiling all along while I read that leadership is the act of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants it to do, or he wants to do it. What does that really replay in your mind, Stella?
Now let me coin it in a more simpler thing. Like, let me paint a scenario. For instance, I am a leader. Eric wants me to do something, and I'm mandating Eric to do that thing because he wants that thing to be done. Okay.
I think that is not really what that sentence is looking about. It's looking at the leader who wants something to be done, And because he wants it to be done, it is something that the servants or the followers want to do. So he wants this to be done. I think that is
not the servant or the follower wanting it to be done.
Yes. Like, do you understand what she said?
Just explain it,
Now,
David.
the leader wants something to be done, but he wants his servants to do it.
Carry out the
Yes, but these servants wants to also do these things. Do you understand?
Okay, Stella, why we'll come back to you. We'll have to come back to you. So, bro, Eric, from your own end, how do you understand the quote?
All right. Now, there is a servant and there is a master. A master wants to do something, but he does not want to do it. Maybe due to the fact that there are so many negativities carried around this particular thing, but he wants to achieve a lot. And he wants to use the servants to do this. And the servants are willing to do it ordinarily, even before being instructed by the leader. So even if it goes all bad, or if it was supposed to go bad, the followers are ready to do it with all their mind because they're already enjoying it.
Okay.
For example, you come and see a group of persons who already know how to sing, and you want to go to a competition. You are the leader. You do not know how to sing, but these persons, they love to sing. And when you come to meet them and tell them you want them to represent you or you want to sponsor them, and you did not even tell them the amounts equated, they are not even after the money. They just want to do it because they love to sing.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, now you take advantage over them, and maybe the money is like $1,000, and out of $1,000, you do not even give them even up to $500,000. They will not feel bad. They may not even know, but they have done this thing for you. They have done your bidding for you, and you have achieved a lot, being at the forefront. I think that is what that statement
Please,
is
I would
looking
love
about.
to hear that again.
You know, when I also yelled, I feel this particular quote has different dimensions to its meaning. The way Eric may understand is totally different from the way Stella nor I will understand it at this point. But since
at
Stella
some
is
point, it sounds like a master who is taking advantage
Of-
over his
yes,
servant, because
yeah.
willingly they want to do it, even before you instructing them. Imagine you having a mindset that you want to build a tower that you can get to heaven. Already, these persons are people that maybe they want to build, they love building, but they do not even care about the risk involved. They just want to do it, even at the expense of their life or something. They just
but
want
because
to do
they
it.
appreciate the
They
fact that
appreciate
they
the
want.
fact. So you want to
it
take
done.
advantage over them, to use them to achieve what is in your mind. I think that's what that quote is.
Stella, are you okay with it?
I would
But
love to hear
you
you.
can go ahead and repeat the quote.
All right,
for
so I
her.
have to take back to the quote. It says, or take the quote again. It says that leadership is the act of getting someone else to do something you want done.
Something
You want done.
as a
Yeah.
leader.
That's because he wants to do it.
By the he. Who is the he?
Because the follower wants to do it. You understand? Like,
Okay.
that's why I painted the scenario that you know very well as a leader. Let me say, you cannot go under this tunnel to get out jewelries or to get out something that is precious in this tunnel. But you have followers who take delight in going to do these things. So at this point in time, you're taking advantage. Irrespective of the fact that there is a lot of risks to that place, you say, okay, I want people to go and get this. And you just see people, volunteers, they are ready to go. They don't care if they are going to die or something, and you want that thing done. They will just go. Whether you pronounce or not, they will just go. They don't care anything that happens. They come back.
But
and
truly
they,
speaking,
and they get it done for you. I think most times, most leaders take advantage of their followers, which is not supposed to be so. We also have to put ourselves in that particular position, as our father has always taught us, the servant leadership. If you cannot do a particular thing, do you think that your servants should also do the particular thing when it's detrimental to their life? For example, you can see a king, maybe a leader, understand the fact that they must go to an evil forest or something to get something precious and something beautiful. And he does not want to send maybe his only son to go and do this thing, but he wants to force or send the followers to go and do this particular thing. Is it right? Take, for example, our Lord and Master. He knew that it is very detrimental, that it is only the precious blood of his son that can wash away our sin. And he had to send his son, even if he asked his son, but he still has the consent to say that, no, my son will not go. But he still had to send his son, and his son came and died for our sin. Which father on planet
Would
Earth
have done
who is
that?
ready
Okay,
to send out?
You're not far. You're not far from the truth. In as much as I buy your idea of that quote,
Yeah.
I also would love to come from a different perspective.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
Just
fine.
like Smith Peace mentioned, that this particular quote you can see it from a different viewpoint.
perspective.
Like
yeah.
when she read it out, I had a different view. Now you're coming from a different view. Now what if this he in quote is referring to the servant this time around and not the master? For instance, as a servant, you tell your master, okay, I want us to organize an event. For instance, let us celebrate an anniversary. You are giving your master this idea of, okay, let us celebrate an anniversary. I come to you, okay, I think this year will be proper for us to celebrate our 20th anniversary, at this anniversary, at that anniversary. Your master has bought your idea. And then he puts you in that position of planning that anniversary simply because you brought the idea. So he feels like, since you've been inspired, you already visioned how this program is going to look like, so you are in a better position to execute it. So what if this he is not referring to the master this time, but to the servant?
Now, this is a very different thing now. Let us look at it, for example. A master can always tell his subordinates or a servant to do a particular thing, and he must do it.
Of course.
A servant can suggest to the master, and once he suggests, the master can buy the idea and not still carry it out.
Yeah, that's true.
But once the master gives an order, whether it is coming from you, the servant, or from him, you must do it.
But either ways, anyways, in either ways, both opinions I think are still correct.
I think they're still
yes, using that pronoun he in quotes, it could he could be referring to the master ordering the servant to do it. He could also be referring to the servant.
The quote is so direct that it is looking at the point whereby leaders try to take advantage of their subordinates, which is really not right. Because of the fact that I have the pleasure of doing this thing does not mean that if you as a leader, you have seen that there is a lot of risk involved, and you as a leader, you cannot do it. For example, I was just trying to say, our Lord Jesus Christ has died for us on the cross of Calvary. He has paid the ultimate price. Who do you think will be willing again the second time to say he wants to go and die when you have seen the whole risk involved? You have seen everything involved. Would you think you will be willing to go and die? There is nobody. So this is what most of our leaders take advantage of, the servants. People that are kept in position. If you cannot put yourself in that position as a servant to say, if I cannot do this thing as a servant, I'm forcing my servants to go and do these things at the detriment of their life or this. No doubt, if the achievement comes, the first person that is getting achievement, is the leader.
I was going to bring that to you.
The glory goes to the leader.
That is the simple
Even if
truth.
it wasn't the leader who brought the idea.
Because mentally, that's how it has always been.
That's the simple truth. You see today, those that God have kept in position to take care of his flock, maybe a good leader comes up, he builds bridges, he builds these, there is good facility, good road, good this, good this. At the end of the day, you do not attribute the achievement to those persons who started laying the foundation, who build these things. You are looking at the person who's at the head of affairs, saying that he has built this here, but there were persons who God also used to pass through to establish all these things. So at some point in time, in as much as the leaders are going to take credit, the servants are also meant to be given those accolades too.
You know, talking about this taking credit of a thing, we also understand that in situations where maybe these things still fail, the leaders are being held accountable. What am I saying? Now, sometimes in a society where you see someone is at the end of affairs, trying to make things work out, and then you see the subordinate trying to, I think we all talked about something, trying to sabotage that particular effort and all of that. And when things goes wrong, they're like, oh, is this person? Oh, this person is not governing well.
The leader will be held accountable.
Now, let's look at the role of governors in the aspect of accountability. Very good.
Okay, at this point in time, I think you have to have clear policies, because if you want to be accountable and you don't have clear policies, then you will not come out positive or successful. Because if you say, on purchase, or maybe you're going to do this, you must write, document. Before money is released, they must write, document, sign who is collecting the money. These clear policies must be there for accountability. If you do not have clear policies, there is no chance that you are going to get it right. And now there must be a system whereby people must take responsibilities for everything that happens. From the least to the greatest must have the aspect of taking responsibilities. If you do not take responsibilities, then these policies is not going to work. It will not come to friction. we understand that financial aspect and accountability is something that is most held in a very high esteem, most especially to the followers. The followers always try to pinpoint anytime there is misusage of funds. Maybe there is no proper documentation at some point in time. So if you do not have clear policies for people to give accountability under your leadership, under your governance, under your watch, the structure that have been kept, I think there will be failure. The main thing is clear policies. Clear policies will definitely lead to responsibilities, financial stability, and so on and so forth. So the policies should be better in the way that it will affect both the followers and both those that are the aim of affairs.
So what if those policies now becomes
Choky.
a bottleneck for you?
Definitely, even if it is a bottleneck for you, there's no place, because of the nature of man, that is why we have regulations, we have rules governing us, because if there is no rule, man will not be stable, man will not be normal, because the grace of God that God has given to us, we don't even tend to abide by it. Just imagine us now. There are so many persons that will wake up this morning and believe that they're entitled to waking up, of which it is by God's grace they are awake, and they start exhibiting so many evil thoughts. You imagine someone who wakes up at the mercy and unction of God this morning is thinking about how he wants to kill somebody, how he wants to make another fellow human to suffer for the rest of his or her life. Just imagine to think about those things. So if there are no policies and no rules to regulate man under governance and structure, then there will be no responsibility. No one will be able to be held accountable. For example, if I am to make a purchase in a system and I am not there taking notes of or writing or taking documentation that I'm taking money for this, if tomorrow there's no way for you to come back and check for those documents, how then will I be held responsible if I did not use the funds in the right way? So policies must also affect both those at the aim of affairs and the followers.
So away from policies, I know of a certain leader, when he mandates like responsibilities, he goes back to check on it.
Yeah.
For example, now you may not actually know that this particular governor is writing
those
your
are the,
midst,
those are the policies.
checkmating what you are actually doing.
Course.
So if he's telling you that you have to build this road or giving you the contract of building a road under, let's say, 2 months or 3 months, he makes sure that he follows suit till the project is all over and all of that. So while we are talking about you as a leader employing the use of policies that will enable you, checkmate whenever things are being done, you should also learn to, why not you check out this thing? Don't just give responsibilities and go back to relax, because tomorrow you'll still be held accountable for whatever you do. Just like people will praise you for, having this achieved or meant or something. When it goes wrong, you'll still be caught for it. Yes. Now, Stella, let's go talk about transparency, because Eric said something about deep reservation.
Okay.
When he talked about deep reservation, I know he said you reserve the right to actually, make the final decision. Yeah. But now let's talk about in the aspect of transparency and trust. Okay. So how can leaders promote this in the aspect of governance?
Okay. First of all, one of the key things to do is for you to always have open communications and open and honest communications. Always communicate openly and honestly with your stakeholders, people you have kept in positions to handle one or two things on your behalf. Okay. Do not just like Eric said, that you should have deep reservations. I really wanted to know what those deep reservations are. That's why I had to ask him to over again. On those deep reservations. He was really laying emphasis on. So as a leader, you should, as a matter of necessity, you should always have open and honest conversations with your stakeholders. Now, let's say I'm a president, for instance. As a president, I have governors, I have commissioners, I have these, I have that. People at different positions I have kept to make sure they oversee things and then report back to me. Now, let's say I want to take a decision. Like I mentioned, whether or not you have that foresight, you have that vision that whatever you have in mind is going to be positive, like the outcome is going to be positive, you still have that, what should I call it? You are still entitled to at least get 1 or 2 opinions from people. Don't just, because you are the leader, because you have seen that this your idea will yield positive fruit, you just fall in and then start working without wanting to hear if, okay, these people, they will actually follow up or they buy the idea of this thing we want to do. You should be able to Openly tell them, okay, this is why this thing should be like this. Okay, if you don't buy this idea, can we also hear your own idea and why you think your idea is more genuine, or why you think it's going to last the test of time, or it's going to stand the test of time, it's going to yield positive fruit. Just, you know, do some checks and balances and then see how at the end of the day you dot your I's and cross your T's. If they have reasonable ideas or reasonable reasons to back up their points, there's nothing wrong with you buying your own idea, so that when it falls tomorrow, no doubt you're going to be held accountable. You're not supposed to listen to them, you're not supposed to, but at least you know that at least you heard from them, so that the second time, if maybe you want to take up that project again, you know that at least you gave them a fair hearing.
So what happens the next time you're not even giving the next time opportunity? That's why I say this.
You know that at least you gave them fair hearing the first time, and it didn't actually yield.
Now this is why I said you need to have deep reservation. At some point in time, we understand that you must listen to your followers. You have to listen to them, which is very, very compulsory and important. And if a lot of time you give them that 99% of decision making, and you have 10%, I think at that point in time as a leader you are going wrong.
No, it is not every time you give them 99% hearing.
Yes. Okay.
To me, in every at every sphere of our lives, like every point of our lives, we are leaders at different points.
Yes.
In our families, offices, school. Like you've been kept to lead a particular group of persons. Now, this is where I'm coming from. I am not saying you should always give them that 99. Every decision you want to make, you must have to carry them along, or you must have to do whatever they say you should do.
But there is need to carry them along at every decision.
Listen to,
Okay.
I'm heading somewhere.
Okay.
I am not saying that you should discard their ideas.
Okay.
Yes.
Every idea counts.
Yes.
Every opinion counts. But there should be a reasonable backup to those ideas. Do you get? There should be a reasonable backup to those ideas. Now, if you want us, okay, to say, now let's use the student union, for instance. The student union wants to give biro to all the students in a particular university. And then as the leader of that student union, you come up with that idea, okay, let us buy stationaries to every student in the school. And then you have your reasons, very genuine reasons, very beautiful reasons why each student in the school should own stationaries from or given to them by the student union government. And then maybe someone, an ESCO member, maybe the secretary or any other person will say, no, rather than give them stationaries, why not we give them iPhones? Why not we give them laptops? Why not we give them this? And then the person has reasonable reasons as well.
Okay, so at this point, Stella will come back to you. Please stay tuned. Let's take a quick break. Welcome back. You're still watching the Morning Star Breakfast Show here on Starcross Television. Many thanks for staying glued to your TV set and staying with us up till this time. Yes, this morning we were still looking at the topic, leadership and governance. So before we move into our next segment for this episode, let's get to, interact with His Grace Archbishop Justice Anyakwo from the BCS Legal Department. Let's get his own viewpoint on what he understand by leadership and governance from the legal practice aspect. Please stay tuned.
Leadership and governance comprises of two key words that we can look side by side and put them together. Good leadership often is described in terms of vision, influence, and personality. Once the law is considered in this regard, then it means that leadership is incomplete and misleading because law is not concerned with how inspiring a leader is, but its interest is how power is acquired, exercised, limited, and controlled. Where leadership and governance intercept, that is what the law provides for. Some people consider leadership as self-created, but authority comes from lawful sources. Now, once you have the law defining the role of the leader, that lawful sources can be found in the constitutions, statutes, corporate charters, the bylaws, and of course, or contracts where the leader's role are clearly defined. The leader is legitimate only to the extent that their actions fall within this legal mandate. Leadership is delegated power. You agree with me? And once the leader acts outside his legal authority, his decision is considered invalid or travaris and may expose him to liability. The leader is not an act of dominance, but as conditional authority. Governance as a system of restraint exists because power is dangerous when unchecked. From the way governance is structured, it provides a control framework because it is not also symbolic structure. What governance seek to address is who makes decisions, how decisions are made, who oversees those decisions, how conduct is dictated and corrected. So there are certain framework, there are certain aspects of the governance that are designed to prevent abuse, negligence, and corruption. And those structures can be found in boards, directorates, oversight bodies, audits, and of course internal controls, which serves as a safeguard to the corporation or institute that has leadership. The leaders are also seen as ones that are saddled with the fiduciary responsibility. This one is one of the most important legal concepts in governance. When a leader is seen as one acting on behalf of an organization or a body, that leader is seen as one who owes the duty of care, the duty of loyalty, the duty of good faith to which power must be exercised for proper purposes. Breaching these duties can result in personal legal consequences. The leader can be held responsible for acting in an unlawful manner, and such consequences can attract bad reputation or damages reputation. And the law is very clear about it, that leadership is service, and leadership is service under obligation and not privilege without responsibility. So when the rule of law and accountability is there, calling for leaders to be responsible, it operates very well on the personal discretion, and accountability will now avail the cause, the regulators' sanctions and removal from office as a checkmate on the leaders. So leaders must ensure that the answer to their decisions, their intentions do not necessarily excuse them from unlawful actions, and governance fails legally when fails legally when violations from the leaders are ignored or concealed or even normalized. So in conclusion, I will rather clearly point out that the leadership without governance is reckless, and governance without enforcement is meaningless. So when law does not celebrate powerful leaders, it also must discipline power. True leadership, legally understood, is the disciplined exercise of authority within a system of accountability where governance is strong, leadership is legitimate. And you also agree with me even more that where governance collapses, leadership becomes liability, and that ultimately legal reality of leadership and governance is all what this concept stands to achieve. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Oh yes, that was quite a very wonderful one from His Grace Archbishop Justice Anyihakwo from the BCS Legal Department. Yes, he has said it well that absolute power corrupts absolutely, but then let's not allow the influx of power while in governance to consume you as a person. Remember, servant leadership is the key word in whatever you are doing. Thank you so much for joining us. It's still the Morning Star Breakfast show here on Starcross Television, and up to our next segment for today is Today in History. But this time around is with a very beautiful sister, Sister Esther Samuel. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Sister Peace.
You're looking very beautiful this morning.
Tyou. Thank you so much.
All right, let's see what you have for us this morning.
And it is another episode of Today in History, a segment brought to you by Starcross Television to enlighten and educate you on notable events and observances that are connected to specific dates. Today is the 23rd day of February, and let us see what history has in store for us. The first on my list is National Day Brunei. It is celebrated on February 23rd, marking the country's achievement on full independence in 1984. Although Brunei had internal self-governance earlier, this date signifies the end of British protection and the start of complete sovereignty. The day is marked with national ceremonies, parades, and prayers celebrating unity, independence, and national identity. The next on my list is Defender of the Fatherland Day. It is observed on February 23rd in Russia and several former Soviet republics. Defender of the Fatherland Day honors military personnel, veterans, and those who serve in national defense. Rooted in the legacy of Red Army Day, it has grown into a public holiday recognizing duty, sacrifice, and service, and is widely observed as a day of respect for men and women who protect their nations. The next on my list is National Play Tennis Day. It is marked annually on February 23rd. National Play Tennis Day encourages people of all ages to engage in the sport of tennis. The day promotes physical fitness, discipline, and healthy competition, while also highlighting tennis as a lifelong sport that builds endurance, focus, and sportsmanship. The next on my list is National Banana Bread Day. National Banana Bread Day is observed on February 23rd to celebrate a popular homemade food that became widespread during the Great Depression. At a time when wasting food was not an option, banana bread offered a creative way to use overripe bananas. The day reflects themes of resourcefulness, home cooking, and comfort, food shared across generations. The next on my list is World Understanding and Peace Day. It is observed globally on February 23rd. World Understanding and Peace Day promotes dialogue, tolerance, and cooperation among people and nations. The day emphasizes the importance of resolving conflict through understanding rather than division, encouraging peaceful relationships in a world shaped by cultural, political, and religious differences. The next on my list is Curling is Cool Day. It is celebrated on February 23rd. Curling is Cool Day highlights the sport of curling, which originated in Scotland and became popular in cold climate regions. The observance recognizes the game's emphasis on teamwork, strategy, and precision, while also celebrating winter sports culture and international competition. The next on my list is National Hospitality Workers Appreciation Day. It is observed on February 23rd. This day honors workers in hotels, restaurants, tourism, and service industries. It recognizes their role in providing comfort, care, and positive experiences for guests, and highlights the importance of service, patience, and professionalism in everyday interactions. The next on my list is Diesel Engine Day. It is marked on February 23rd to commemorate the invention of the diesel engine by Rudolf Diesel. The diesel engine revolutionized transportation and industry, providing a more efficient and powerful alternative to steam engines and playing a key role in global industrial development. The next on my list is Mashramani Republic Day, Guyana. On 23rd February, Guyana celebrates Mashramani, marking the nation's transition to a republic in 1970. The celebration blends national pride with cultural expression, featuring music, dance, costumes, and street parades. Mashramani reflects Guyana's independence, unity, and rich cultural heritage. The last on my list for today in history is National Tile Day. National Tile Day is observed on February 23rd, and it recognizes the importance of tile as one of the oldest and most durable building materials in human history. Tile has been used for thousands of years, dating back to ancient civilizations such as Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Rome, where it was valued for strength, beauty, and protection. Over time, tile became essential in homes, public buildings, and places of worship because of its durability, hygiene, and decorative value. The day highlights craftsmanship, design, and innovation in construction, while acknowledging the role of skilled workers and artisans who help shape functional and lasting spaces in everyday life. That is all we have for you for today in history. And under infotainment, it is another beautiful Monday, and women all over the globe are implored to attend Women Fellowship in their various Bethels and zones. Wheresoever you find yourself, invite one another and attend the Women's Fellowship and await the blessings of our Holy Mother in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. So that is all we have for today in history and infotainment. I would leave the house back to my amazing uncle to take it up from here. Thanks for staying tuned.
Thank you so much, Sister Esther Sama. That was very beautiful. Stella, do you have something to say?
Okay, all we have to say is to keep reminding us of our testimony and experience program here on Star Cross Television. Always do well to share or send your gratitude via your testimonies, everything beautiful God has done for you. We are always here to receive them. If you are at a distant location, do a 3 to 7 minutes video on a landscape format and a very high quality video and send to us. Or if you are within the BCS World Headquarters, you can always visit Star Cross Television and we will attend to you. Share your testimonies and God will keep doing more for you. Thank you so very much.
All right, David.
Oh, thank you so much. So as leaders, we are advised to understand that we are also servants. If we put ourselves in that position, definitely we will encourage servant leadership as our Father has taught us. So make sure you become a very good leader.
All right, thank you so much, David, Eric, and Sister Stella Obina. And of course, our beautiful, beautiful Sister Esther Samuel. You're looking like a prof on this set. Thank you so much for that beautiful and wonderful today in history. And to all those who celebrated their birthday today, sorry you didn't send any text. That's why we didn't call him out. But we are wishing you a happy birthday celebration, whatsoever you stand in need of. Father has perfected it. Amen. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. So this is how far we can go on this episode of the Morning Star Breakfast Show. We believe that from all we discussed here, whether you are a leader, whether you're a leader or you are seeing yourself, as a subordinate to someone else, try to see how you can walk in line with servant leadership. The leaders, please do well to execute your policies, knowing that the servant are your own responsibilities, while the servant do well to respect the leaders that are in top because they are representatives of God. Until we meet again, I remain Peace Smith. Bye for now.